Hello, my name is Gabe Chang-Deutsch, and today I will be doing a video on online debate tips and tricks for high schoolers. The first thing you should remember when purchasing technology for online debate is that your technology and the way you treat it does matter. I think at the beginning of online debate, many debaters, including myself, thought that we could cut corners with what technology we purchased so as to save some money. While there are ways to minimize the costs of the tools that you buy for online debate, you do need some specialized equipment, such as an external microphone at least, and some other smaller cost items. While these things can be expensive, there are ways to minimize the cost of them, but simply not buying them will put you at a huge disadvantage to your competitors and will make it much harder to communicate with other debaters, the judge, and your team. You must have an external microphone or a headset. A headset, usually a gaming headset with an inbuilt microphone, has some benefits comparative to a microphone. One, there are no feedback on two different calls. So if you're debating in policy or LD debate, or if you're debating in policy or public forum debate, and you contact your partner during the round, there will not be feedback when you unmute if you have a headset on. Secondly, the microphone is closer to your mouth when you are wearing a headset, which means that your audio quality will broadly be better. This is one of the largest drawbacks to a microphone, is that the audio quality and acoustics can greatly suffer. If you are to buy a headset, you should get a wired headset or a wireless one that uses a USB port instead of Bluetooth. These headsets, specifically manufactured for gamers, usually cost around $60 to $100. If you get a Bluetooth headset, while it may seem like you are saving money, the audio quality that you will output to other debaters and to the judge while you are speaking is lower because the bandwidth that is sent via Bluetooth is less than the bandwidth that is sent via a wired headset or into a USB port. If you are to buy, regardless of whether you buy a microphone or a headset, you should always get a splitter. These are, I think I have one on my desk right now. These are just little things that have turned one USB port into 3 USB ports. And because of all the charging, microphone, headset, etc. cords that you will be using in online debate, it really helps to keep your desk cleaner and make sure you don't have to constantly plug in and out things during a debate, which can become really annoying and minimize the amount of preparation you have. You can also use an external microphone, and that is what I use. I think there are two main benefits, and one of them is psychological. For me at least, it feels less weird to debate using an external microphone simply because I do not have something surrounding my ears, and it just feels more like in-person debate when I'm giving a final rebuttal. If this does not matter to you, then it is not a reason to get an external microphone. Secondly, external microphones are cheaper on balance than a headset. For comparable sound quality to a $80 headset, you can get a $40 to $50 microphone. For example, I use the Blue Snowball mic, which is right here, and that costs about $40 to $50 at Best Buy. In addition, during my debates, I wear ANC headphones, these Sennheisers, so that I take off while I'm speaking. This means that there is not feedback because I can hear my judge and my partner out of the same audio, and it does not cause feedback, but it also solves kind of my thing about debating with a microphone because I don't have to wear those headphones while I am speaking. A second thing many people buy for online debate is a webcam. I personally do not use a webcam simply because I wanted to cut costs. And they are not necessary in the sense that an external microphone or headset is necessary, but they are nice. They cost about $20 to $30 on Amazon, and there's two main benefits. Well, they're kind of wrapped up in each other. One, it allows for better aesthetics on the Zoom. When you are debating, lots of times you put your head super close to your camera, especially with an inbuilt camera, and it just makes you look a little silly. And if that is something that you care about, having an external webcam can be extremely nice. Secondly, the quality of your video. This is another simply perceptual benefit. The quality of your video decreases drastically when you use your inbuilt camera versus an external webcam. So if that is something that matters to you, the quality of your video, a webcam is something nice to buy. One thing I forgot to mention when talking about the microphones is you should look at the reviews of microphones before you buy them. I will talk below about how a headset I previously bought failed and I should have looked at the reviews before I purchased it. But you should look at the reviews of your microphone. You should look at the reviews of a headset and make sure that gaming streamers use it, because those usually produce the best audio for a pretty reasonable price. The night before the tournament, you should do a tech setup and a dry run for all the technology you use. For example, I make sure that my microphone, my computer, and my partner communication are set up and working as if I was debating on an NSDA classroom or Zoom. You should also restart your computer the night before a tournament. While this may seem tedious at times, it is actually very important. For the first 3 tournaments of the year, I was debating using headphones with an inbuilt microphone. One of the reasons I transitioned away from them was because of the claustrophobia thing that I talked about above. But secondly, the night before the New Cheer tournament, my headset was broken. I did not know my headset was broken because I hadn't used it for a few days. But when I did my tech dry run the night before the tournament, I came to the conclusion it wasn't working. I was able to go to Best Buy, buy an external microphone, which solved the problem. But if I had waited till the day of the tournament, I would have had to use the microphone array that is inbuilt in my computer. You should never do that because that microphone array does not pick up sound very well and has very low quality sound. So doing these tech dry runs may seem boring, but it's actually really important to make sure everything is working so that the day of the tournament, you can simply focus on your debating. Online partner communication operates a little differently when you're not sitting in the exact same place as your partner, and even when you are sitting in the exact same place as your partner while debating online. So I debated in a different place from my partner Clara for a majority of this year. What we did is we set up an external Slack call that we called each other over, and then there was the Zoom or the NSCA classroom that we were debating with it. You should practice muting and unmuting psychologically automatically when you are speaking. If not, there will be feedback a lot of times because your partner's audio will come out of your audio and that will cause feedback with your microphone, which is really annoying to judges, makes you seem unprofessional, and makes the debate take longer. So you should make sure that you and your partner can communicate without causing technology issues via feedback for the rest of the teams that you are debating. When debating and you need to send your partner pieces of evidence or analytical arguments, you should Slack them or Discord them those pieces of evidence instead of using the email chain. The email chain takes too slow to send that evidence or analytics to your partner, and usually you're sending evidence near the end of a speech, so your partner won't get to it. Will have to wait a long time. There'll be dead time during the speech. So just Slack or Discord the evidence instead of using the email chain. You can always send the evidence to the email chain after the speech. If you're debating in the same location, there are multiple ways for you to set up your sound, audio, and video. For example, the Wake College debate program has people debating in the same room, but they are wearing headsets. This way there's no feedback, and it allows for everyone to be heard. What me and Claire did at the Tournament of Champions, my partner, was we set up a Zoom on each computer, so we joined the Zoom on both of our computers, but my Zoom was disconnected from the computer audio. So we used her speakers and her microphone to get the audio and to, as the microphone. This is important when you are debating in person, and what you do is you leave audio on one computer so that you can pin the judge while you're debating, and the other person is the computer that the audio is coming through and that the sound is coming out of. You should remember to move the microphone for acoustics when you are debating. Since the microphone is moving between two people, sometimes it will not pick up one of the debaters if the microphone is in the same spot that it was for the other speech, which means that your judge can't hear you as well. So just remember to move your microphone if you're debating in the same location and using the same microphone. When you are debating on Zoom or NSDA Classroom, you should make it so you can see your judge or judges during all of your speeches and, if at all possible, during cross-ex. I decided not to buy an external monitor this year, and I do not think an external monitor is necessary, but I do think it is very nice. One, what I had to do this year is set up split screen on my single laptop. So half of my screen was the Zoom so I could see the judge, and the other half of my screen was the document that I was preparing on or speaking out of. It is important to be able to see the judge so you can pick up on their nonverbals, see what arguments you need to change, so on and so forth. But it is also hard sometimes to see the judge when you are debating on a single monitor. Many students, my friends included, have gotten one or two external monitors, especially if they flow on their computer. I do not flow on my computer, so I didn't find it as necessary. But a lot of people put their flows on one external monitor and the document they are preparing on their own, like their computer monitor, and the Zoom with the judge and the other debaters on a second monitor. Or you can put the flow and the judge on one monitor and the document you're preparing on the other, on your own computer monitor. Either way, an external monitor is nice. It gives you more space. I don't think it's necessary if you're not flowing online, but if you're flowing using Excel, I think it is very, very important so that everything can be seen and heard. They only cost $80 to $100. They can get more expensive, but look at the reviews, obviously. They do not need to be the nicest external monitor if you're simply using them for an Excel spreadsheet. Secondly, online, another thing I've noticed is that you should be forceful with starting your speech. What I usually do is I open my Zoom window or NSTA Classroom and ask for visual confirmation that everyone has received the document and is ready for me to start speaking. Many times I've seen other students say, I will start speaking unless anyone says something. You should not use this form of negative communication. Because if the judge is disconnected from audio, if an opponent cannot hear you nor speak, they will not be able to hear your question nor respond to it. So instead, you should ask for positive affirmation before you begin speaking. That will make sure that everyone can hear, and it will just make inevitable tech hiccups less problematic for the debating going on. Tech failures are inevitable online, and there are some best practices you should use to resolve them. The most important thing is to record all of your speeches locally so that you have an audio record to send to judges in case your Wi-Fi or their Wi-Fi goes down. For example, in the elimination rounds of the Green Hill tournament, one of my judges' Wi-Fi went down during a speech that I gave. Because we had a local recording of it on my computer, I sent them the recording. I did not have to re-give the speech. We held the debate back 8 to 10 minutes so they could finish listening to the recording and flowing it. And then we moved on with the debate. It makes you look super professional. It resolved the problem super easily. And having that recording on my computer allowed me to listen to speeches after the fact, change them, and use them for like redos, which is an added benefit of recording things locally to your computer. Another thing to remember on online debate is that, and I think I talked about this a little bit above, is that your technology is a tool in online debate. You cannot debate well online if your microphone or your video camera is not working, so you should treat it with respect. Just as much as it's important to check if it is working before every tournament, you should also make sure that it is charged and that you're not just throwing around your microphone everywhere. For example, I have a friend who treated their microphone, didn't really care about it, moved it around all the time, moved where they're debating all the time, and their microphone just failed during the middle of a speech, which caused a lot of problems. So it is important when you're debating online to make sure all your technology works. Again, this does not have to be the most expensive thing, but you should make sure it is in good condition, and you should look at the reviews to make sure that it will stand up to a year of online debate. While we all hope that online debate will not be the entirety of debate for the 2021-2022 season, it will at least be part of debate for a majority of the first semester, so you should make sure that your tools work well for them. Thank you so much.